It was like, nah.
Hello and welcome back to the Zero Strategy
not
podcast.
working.
Thank you so much for joining us today. My name's
Kinda, you're
Coneyfly. We're joined by. I'm not muted. Don't fucking. Oh my god, it was such a good. Whatever. My name's Coneyfly. I'm joined today by my co-hosts Grog Mode,
Hi.
Medibot Eve,
I got it. Hey.
and Sir Hubs.
It's Sir Hub.
We have got a lot to talk about this week. So strap in. This could be a long one. A lot of Twitch news. But first of all, Grog, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
Fuck, that went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah,
Thanks,
that's what
Hubs.
she said.
Oh, wait. What?
I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know anymore. What's going on?
This week has been pretty good. I played some Apex, played a bunch of No Man's Sky. The No Man's Sky is doing a cool thing where the cat is kind of out of the bag, so it's not really a spoiler, but there was an Easter egg that was introduced that I'm really excited to share. And for any Mass Effect fans out there, what they did was they started releasing almost like seasonal content, but last time they did these expeditions in No Man's Sky, which is like an open world intergalactic exploration Minecraft in space kind of game. They had you do all these challenges as a community, and it took like several weeks to finish. This time around they shortened it to like 10 days, and they have you start like an alternate game save, and they take you through like a little mini story arc. And what this led you to at the very end was the SS Normandy, the ship from Mass Effect 1, literally showing up in the game, and you could add it to your fleet
That's
of
so cool.
like frigates that would surround your capital ship, and you can send it on missions and stuff. And it's super cool. People were excited. It was also just the tone of the music and the delivery and the way that they made it work, and also how the community like you could see you just saw way more activity than usual, and it was a very heartwarming experience. That was really neat. Played a bunch of Apex this week. Finally got 2K damage badges on all my characters, which is exciting. So that's really cool. And played more Little Nightmares with Lauren, and that was really fun. Little Nightmares is up there for me. We played the DLC, and that game is just magical. Horrifying, but magical.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Eve, what about yourself?
Oh, been playing a lot of Final Fantasy again, and I finished a game again.
Nice.
You also discovered something in the game.
I
A
discovered
CCG within an
Herself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Her true everything.
Yeah. So they decided in Final Fantasy it was a good idea to show me that they had a trading card game, like in the game.
Oh no.
First of all, they made the mistake of showing me there's an entire area to gamble, which dumbest thing you could do. And then I found out there was a card game, and I was like, and they yelled at me for spending like an hour and a half there. You shouldn't have showed me. You shouldn't have showed me. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And then I started Resident Evil 8 yesterday.
I like that.
Oh, it's fun.
I
It's
lurked for a little
nice.
bit of it. It was just you yelling at Ethan to get out of a burning house. And
He's
like,
dumb. He's so goddamn stupid. He's like, we have to hurry, and then just standing there during a cutscene. It's like, okay, let's leave from there. The entire downstairs is on fire and coming up quickly, and he's like,
Let's
Taking it all in.
adequately take this all in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's a great game. I
Hate it.
can't wait to watch you play more.
I kind of want to just have him die just to spite him.
you can do that at any point. Just hit a checkpoint and then kill him immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you get until he understands. He'll eventually
Yeah.
come around, I think. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Kill him
He'll
enough
eventually
and it
come around.
changes the script of the game.
Yes. The coding gets rewritten. You know what I mean? As a great doctor once says, life finds a way.
So what about yourself? What's your week been like?
My week has been full of accidents and just interesting things. No, I was so I've been building cornhole sets because I need cornhole. I need cornhole in my life.
Some people don't know what that is. I know
Okay,
what that
Yeah,
is.
I
beanbag
actually
toss
don't know what it is.
Beanbag toss game is probably what it's most worldly
Yeah,
known,
it's
I
just,
guess.
It's just where you're putting sacks into holes. And
Yeah, you've got 2 wooden boards across 27 feet, according to the ACO.
Is that the American Cornhole
League.
Association?
Organization, yeah. And on the boards, they're angled up a little bit, and they have holes in there, 6-inch holes. And you stand at either end, 2v2, and you toss 4 beanbags, alternating beanbag colors, and you try to make it into the hole. If you make it in the hole, it's a cornhole.
So it's like beer pong without the beer.
Or I was gonna say it's almost like bocce, like
bocce
lawn,
ball. It's probably bocce ball. It's probably it's similar to bocce ball. Yeah,
but with throwing instead of rolling.
Yeah.
So instead of a ball, you've got a beanbag, and you're just like
yard darts. It's probably similar to yard darts.
When you first mentioned it, I was shocked because I thought it was just a Nebraskan thing, and that all my Nebraskan family was the only people obsessed with it.
Oh no, it's all over, man.
When I heard the word cornhole, I thought it was food. Cornhole kind of sounds like a dish.
When he said that he was going to use the sander on his cornhole and then
well, then in the context, yes, obviously weird, but cornhole on its own.
I'm going to use a sander on my cornhole, like exactly, that's what I think about. You know what I mean? Like I grew up thinking cornhole is something different.
Horseshoes is a good equivalent.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand.
Very similar. It's played very similar to horseshoes.
In Scotland, right?
We do have horses, yes.
And I imagine they have shoes. They have shoes, yeah.
They just fucking
they've got drip, they got trainers.
Drip.
They got the
drip.
Yeezys. Some of the better off areas have Yeezys.
Is that what you do? Is that what
you go? Sheesh. Yeah.
Anyway, whilst I was building these cornholes, these boards, I was drilling a hole through what will become one of the legs, and the board caught the drill and spun at Mach 2 into my ankle.
Ooh.
Into the inside my left side ankle bone. You know that little bone that sticks out on your...
The one you hit with the skateboards.
There is a 2-inch cut because it was a 2x4 directly over that bone.
Oh, it's the most horrible thing, man. Oh.
And my son was there with me, and I just stopped and I just held my leg, and he's like, "Daddy, what you doing? Daddy, what you doing?" His favorite fucking phrase, "Daddy, what you doing?" And I'm just like clenching down. I'm like, "Daddy got a boo-boo. Can you just give me a sec?" And I'm like, "All right, I'm all right." It was bloody, and it was cut. I was like, "All right, that's fine." And then it was like really sore, and it was like swollen. And then now it's still fucking swollen. It's still swollen. It's bruised to fuck. The bruising's gone down to almost my toe. Yeah, my mom was, while she was here, she went back home, and my wife both think it's broken or was broken. Currently, maybe it is. I mean, I've walked fine, which I guess that particular area you would maybe walk fine, right? I've never tested it, like touched it.
And call it good.
I've never touched it. You know what I mean? Like where it is, I've never put pressure on it because I'm like, if it is, that's gonna really hurt. So I think I'm just gonna say fuck it. You know what I mean? And just be like, it'll be all right.
If you went to the doctor, what would they do? They'd say,
they'd be like, yeah, it's
ice on
hairline,
a wet paper towel. Wet paper towel.
They might get me a boot. She's like, I can get you a boot on Amazon.
That's Zero Strategy's official stance here is fuck the doctor. Take care of yourself. You break a limb, you deal with it.
As just a slight disclaimer, that is not our stance.
I mean, I could go to the doctor for anything.
Just put a wet paper towel on it. The school nurse.
The school, that's literally the first thing they do in Scotland. You know, I broke my thumb playing basketball. I got a wet paper towel to put on it.
Yeah.
And got told to shut the fuck up and go back to class.
It helps with the swelling.
Well, Eve can attest, like, Ethan Winters in Resident Evil 7 and 8, when he loses a hand, you just pour some
Yeah,
water on
you
it.
just-
Yeah.
It's magic Fiji water, and you just plug it like
As
a
Eve
USB
just
right
did.
back into the wrist.
Her hands were sappy. I
It's
don't know.
like the
Why'd you do
thing,
that?
even you talking about that, like injury humps, like it's the bone that I would hit like with my skateboard when I was younger. You fall off your skateboard and it comes flying down the ramp and hits you in the ankle.
Yes.
Oh, it's the
Yes,
worst pain
that-
known to man. It's the
Yes.
worst.
Yes, I mean, like 7th through like sophomore year, junior high, flashed through my head. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
That was like, oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely horrendous. That's horrible.
But
Aye,
I gotta
aye,
tell
aye.
you one more thing, real quick, semi-quick. It happened this morning. That's why it was crazy. So it has to do with the cornhole boards. It's still relevant. I'm sealing them naturally. I'm using linseed oil. People use tongue oil, linseed oil, a bunch of, there's some other stuff that you can use. But just so I get a natural look to it. Linseed oil is specifically special, unlike other things, because linseed oil. What's so funny? What's so fucking funny? Why are you laughing at me?
Drugs bullying me in the
Continue.
chat. Carry on.
You guys are laughing also. Hella funny. Anyway, linseed oil is a little different than other stuff. Right back into it. It's just a little delay. I don't have my pills yet. Give me a second.
I was afraid that everything broke for a second. I was like,
Trust me, it happens all the time. It's just like reboots. Linseed oil is a little bit different because unlike other things, the way it cures isn't normally things oxidize when they cure. They exchange oxygen to dry out basically and they cure. They harden. Linseed oil is a little different because there's an exothermic reaction involved with the cure process, which is fine if you say have it on a table, desk, furniture, whatever. That the cure process is fine. It's out in the open,
Did
air's
you have
there,
it
it's
on your
good.
skin? I feel like that's
No.
where maybe this is going.
We're good. No. Because like I even did like when I did my table, in linseed oil. I did it in this room. I didn't take it outside. I literally did it in this room and it was fine. So I did the cornholes, left them in the garage, and I go upstairs, go to sleep. I go to bed, wake up this morning, and I get up and I'm like, it smells like linseed oil upstairs. I don't remember ever smelling linseed oil outside of this room when I did this big ass table. And I'm like, why does it smell like linseed oil in my bedroom? I go downstairs, really smells like linseed oil. I'm like, holy shit. So I go out in the garage, I open the garage door up and I was like, oh, this smells like oil, all right. And so I kind of go around, I was like, oh shit, I did spill some linseed oil on the garage floor and I wiped it up with some paper towels. I had some paper towels. I had a spill. Obviously, what you do with the spill is
You put a wet paper towel on.
I didn't put a wet paper towel. I just grabbed paper towels and I wiped it up. And there's a good amount of linseed oil. And the thing is, with exothermic reactions, there's not enough airflow. So this bunched up paper towel soaked linseed oil was black as fuck. I opened it up. It was crispy. There were burnt holes in it. I was like,
God.
oh my God. I was like, I almost burned down my fucking house, man. If that was anywhere else other than like my garage concrete floor, it would have like burnt through some shit. Like, so it was fucking crazy. Sorry, wife. She's not here and she has no idea of this. I think I'll just I'll let it go. You know what I mean? She probably won't ever, if she wants to know, it's out there, you know what I mean? It's on the internet.
I'm texting
You
you
know,
right
you
now.
can find us-
Sometimes.
You can find us on Spotify. She's like, I can feel the force choke from Myrtle Beach. I'm sorry, baby, I love you.
God damn.
Condi, how has your week been?
Thank you. Yeah, my week's been alright. I got my second vaccine dose,
You're
which
max vaxxed.
I'm max vaxxed.
Ooh.
That's right. I can feel it
You're
like
a
Thanos.
Maxinista?
Like Thanos when he gets all the Infinity Stones. That's what I feel like right now.
Put on the glove. Put on the glove. Put on the glove.
Please. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't really need to use my hands for this, so I can have the glove on. That's no problem. But yeah, it's
That is not the right
most.
hand.
It wouldn't go in the other hand. Anyway, I'm max vax. I feel good about that. That really fucked me up for a couple days. Like I got it on the Wednesday. The Thursday I felt okay. I did a forfeit stream on the Thursday, which if we want to talk about that real quick, we did a thing where my wife wrote a bunch of she wrote a bunch of forfeits or punishments onto little bits of paper, and then put them in these little plastic balls, and then filled a bowl with them. And I had no idea what these were. And the idea of the stream was, you could spend channel points to pick a banned word that I'm not allowed to say. If I say the word, I have to open up one of the punishments and do it. And I did all of the punishments. By the way,
it's a fantastic idea.
Well, I mean, I may have done the yoink and twist, which is that I saw someone else doing it, and I added my own spin to it. So, you know, the yoink and twist. But I thought it was a fun idea.
I approve.
Yeah.
The old yoink and twist down. Here's a little somebody.
But I thought it was a lot of fun, and I ended up doing all the punishments throughout it. So, I mean, by the end of it, I was sitting there with lipstick on and Dale's bra over my hoodie. But people seemed to like it, and it was a lot of fun because, like, I was really trying so hard not to say, like, the words. Like, they were trying to get me to say the word, right? So I had it typed on my screen in big letters above my camera what I wasn't allowed to say. And somebody goes like, oh, you know about King Arthur? Like, how did he become king? And I was like, well, you're not going to get me. You're trying to get me to say the word sword. That's a different word. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I've just fucking said it somehow. Or then the word no, N-O, I wasn't allowed to say. And I was talking about something completely different. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's like that thing, you know? And immediately chat's like, oh, he said it. And I was like, chat, that's a different word. That's a different word. But then everyone started spamming, and I was like, no, chat. And then I'm like, you know, so they got me. It was a lot of fun. It was really, really fun. And I recommend it if you're looking for something to just add an extra layer onto your stream. It was a blast. Because it kind of like, I'm just sitting trying to play Resident Evil, but like in the back of my mind, I'm super careful about everything I'm saying. Like, it was a lot of fun. So we did that. And then Friday, I felt like I got hit by a bus. Like, I was really just in a bad way. And then yesterday,
which was 2 days after, which is a little different. Like ours was, I think, the next day, right? What? Yeah,
dude,
it was the next day.
So
it was the next day.
It's been weird because after the first one, the main thing was just that my arm felt like it had a huge bruise on it. And my arm feels fine. Like, there's absolutely no pain in my arm at all now.
Believe me.
Yeah, like it's it's weird. But the rest, the rest of my body was just like falling apart. Like I felt like I'd been doing sit-ups in my sleep. Like, it was just so weird. But so yesterday I still wasn't feeling great.
Sit-ups with your arm?
Well, no, but like my whole like core was like sore, you know, like
my arms are sore. I felt like I've been doing sit-ups for hours.
No, but like every muscle in my body was aching. Like, it was very, very strange. But I think I'm over the worst of it now. Humps and I tried to do the raid in Destiny yesterday, which turned into like a 9-hour stream, which I was not prepared for.
Yep.
I was thinking it'd be like a couple hours. I'd already like been up since like I got up at like 7 a.m., did a full shift at work, came home. I was like, just a little short stream tonight. And then it's like 9 hours later, and I'm sitting here banging my head against a wall trying to get through this raid. So that was fun. But I'm on holiday now for the next week. I have no work. So I'm excited to actually get to catch up on some games and stuff. It's going to be good. But yeah, that's about it. I didn't do too much last week. Made a couple videos. I opened more Pokemon cards because I'm addicted. That's about it. So we have a lot of like big Twitch things to talk about.
Real quick, before we get into the topics, I just want to say one thing, and it has to do with viewership too of our great Zero Strategy podcast. If you guys aren't checking us out, listening to us on Spotify and all that good shit, YouTube, it's all there. But anywho, it kind of has to do with that, sort of. We'll get there. 1 second. So you know how I haven't really made a big deal that my wife, her business is done really well, and
booming.
It's booming, and it's allowed me. I don't work anymore. I quit my job a month and a half, 2 months ago. It's been fantastic. Anywho, that's been kind of like, it's not that it's been necessarily like a secret, but we haven't necessarily told a few people, specifically her parents, for reasons. It is what it is.
You gotta get a real job. Twitch isn't a real job.
However, no, it has nothing to do with that. Turns out, father-in-law, hey Jim, he's a listener of the podcast.
He's a strategist.
So, hi Jim.
He's a zero strategist, and so welcome to the. So that's here. She's visiting her mom this weekend. That's why she's gone. And her mom was like, "Yeah, we already knew. Jim listens to the podcast." So there's that. So look at viewership's everybody. You
So
know
they'll
that-
get to
our
find out
statistics that was showing,
altogether.
Like that one person that was like over 55. That listener. Remember you looked
Hey,
that
Jim.
up, Eve?
Thanks, Jim.
That's Jim.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Jim.
Jim.
Hey, Jim,
Thank
we
you,
appreciate it, Jim.
We appreciate your listen.
Cool. Right. Lot of big stuff happening with Twitch this week. Big announcements coming out. A lot of changes. A lot of quote unquote drama.
I think, to be fair, I think this is the 1 week where we've had more to talk about Twitch than any other.
Oh yeah,
week
it's been a minute.
We didn't even have to think about topics today. It was like
Yeah.
we just had them ready to go.
Boom, we had them.
So, I mean, first of all, Twitch is adding a bunch of new tags for streamers to tag their content and their streams with.
That'll be coming this week.
Yeah, Tuesday, right?
Ooh,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
I use them so frequently now.
So they had a press release. It was titled "Celebrate Yourself and Your Community with 350 plus new tags." It says next week streamers will be able to select from over 350 new tags related to gender, sexual orientation, race, nationality, ability, mental health, and more. List of tags include transgender, black, disabled, veteran, VTuber, among many others. We will also remove references to ally from the LGBTQIA plus tag. A is for asexual, not ally. Although people, that's a whole other contentious topic. But instead, they are creating a standalone tag called ally, which is, I think, pretty cool. These additions won't change how tagging works and are completely optional. They simply give creators more choices. We'd like to thank our trans community for originally requesting the transgender tag and for their passion and persistence in pursuit of that quest. Then they go on.
Me.
It was just by
Spearheaded that.
community they mean thanks Metabot Eve.
Yeah,
Countless
exactly.
emails from Eve.
But they go on to say at the end, the hope is that these new tags help every community, but especially those that are underrepresented, that are growing, or those that continue to thrive. And with any means of discovery, there are bad actors who may use the ability to find streams for malicious purposes. Users that utilize these tags as a means to harass those displaying them will be subject to the enforcement of hateful conduct and harassment policy. They recommend creators familiarize themselves with moderation tools, and they just give links to community guidelines, etc. I mean, that's basically the tweet, that they're adding tags, and tags aren't changing from what we know them to be now. I mean, they're still just they are a meta tag that appears underneath a stream, so that when you're browsing a directory, you'll just see those. You'll see the tags that are separate from those that are automatically assigned per game. So if you choose a game that's...
You can search.
Yes,
You can search based on tags. Do you guys
Yes.
use tags?
I don't.
I do.
Yeah, just a few.
Just a couple.
I mean, other than like the default ones that pop up, like when I pick a game that I'm playing, like I think I used to like mess with them a little bit, added a few more, but like I don't ever mess with them. Like, so I mean, it's nice that they're including, specific tags, but I don't see the point.
Well,
Like,
the thing is,
do people use the tags? I guess. I
Well,
mean,
the-
do people
people
use
do.
the tags?
the thing is, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
at first people thought the tags were there for discoverability, right? People thought, hey,
Yeah.
I can tag my stream so that more people can find me. And
That's
maybe
how I
that,
viewed 'em, I guess.
well, that might have been Twitch's initial thought, but I really think that tags has now just become more about giving a new viewer a quick insight
Just an
into
idea
your
of,
community.
like,
and
hey,
what,
this is kind of a general idea of, what I support, who I am. Type. Okay. I can
yeah,
get-
I
I
think
think
it's,
before
different
they even
perspective
click.
on it. Okay. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's, and I personally, purely because I switch directories and games like 4 times in a stream, I just don't bother sitting typing out the tags anymore, which I used to, and I probably should get back onto it. But I just use the automatic ones. But I think that there is certainly a place for them if you need to, you want to tag your community as, maybe you're, playing through a game for the first time and you don't want spoilers or something. Although in my experience, if I put no spoilers as a tag, that just entices
hey, let's go
people.
fuck this guy's day up.
Yeah, but like I think it's more a better way of saying, here's the content I'm doing today. If I'm playing Call of Duty, I know Warzone has its own directory now, but like, a game like that where they can tag, well, I'm playing Warzone or I'm playing multiplayer, and it just makes it that easier to just identify what you're doing on that day, as well as, identify yourself and your community a bit more.
Would you tag the stream as?
Informative, educational.
You're lying now.
So I think that people used to and still use tags for, like you said, Humps, for different reasons. Like some people would use it for discoverability, thinking that that's how they're going to be found.
And I guess that's kind of where my kind of mindset was.
Yeah, it can kind of be all over the place. What I would see it fall into a couple different camps where no backseating and no spoilers was a common thing used. There's also, I think, first playthrough. So people would use one of those 3 tags to kind of indicate like, hey, I'm fresh to this game. Just, I might be kind of musing out loud about like my thought process, but like, please don't give me tips or tricks or hints. So like, don't ruin this for me. I would see that a lot, especially on single player games or story based games. I feel like those were pretty common. They weren't used every single time. Like, so in a given game directory, maybe you'd see some people using them and then others not. Also, for clarity, for anyone who hadn't noticed before, when you're in a directory for a game already, it doesn't show you the default tags. So, for example, if you launch Call of Duty, it'll say multiplayer, shooter, first person. I think those are just applied like bog standard. You can't change them because they're just associated with the game. Those would be the things that if people searched off of the main homepage for Twitch, that would allow you to, like, the algorithm would maybe direct those into your field of view. The default ones, though, when you're in the directory, are invisible. So it's only those extra tags that people chose to put in that would actually show up. So if you were playing, say, Resident Evil, you're not going to see puzzle game, survival game, horror. You would see maybe AMA for Ask Me Anything if that's what somebody chose to add. You would maybe see no backseating, first playthrough, stuff like that. So I think sometimes...
Where do they show up? I don't mean to cut you off. Where do they actually show up?
Just underneath. So they would have, like when you see the directory, it would be either a single column if you're on... Actually, no, I think it's like 2 columns if you're on mobile. And
will it show up on the actual stream, like when you're on the streamers?
Yes.
Like right. Why not? What?
So for us, it says Talking Twitch and then
adding
English
them,
and IRL.
And it should say educational if you update it, maybe.
Right now, ours defaults to English and IRL. For Talking Twitch in the talk shows.
Oh, that's what they okay.
Category.
Yep, I refreshed it. Now it says like English and educational. Nice. Okay.
So basically, whenever you're watching a stream, they will always... I don't know about mobile when you're actually in the stream itself, but when you're browsing categories, they will show. When you're on desktop, they always show underneath the title of the stream. I think so we have one camp of people who sometimes would use it as a way to just like create a disclaimer for the viewers, like, hey, please no backseating.
Yeah.
Then you'd have like other people who I think would just list things to be descriptive. So like there's a stream that I watch sometimes where it's 2 people on it and they use a tag called co-stream. So they're co-streaming together. Things like that. Maybe they want to be a little more descriptive. They don't want to add it as a label to say like, hey, this is what's up with my channel as a rule. Like, please don't give me tips or tricks, no spoilers. But more like they actually want to describe the channel. And then others people use it as like a sense of identity. So you have the LGBTQIA tag, for people who want folks to know like this is where they are, and they want to identify this as a space that is inclusive, of those peoples. For the longest time, there was the trans tag was getting a lot of traction, and they cited directly in the blog article that it's been a long time coming that people have wanted that. Another one that I've seen, but it wasn't mentioned explicitly in the article, although it was listed as a tag example at the top. But I think a lot of Black and persons of color streamers have been adamant about wanting to have a Black tag. They've wanted a Black tag for quite some time. That's something that I've seen be talked about extensively on Twitter. And in that sense, it often boiled down to content creators wanting to find other people who, like within the Black diaspora, wanting to find people who were also doing interesting work, and just finding it difficult because sometimes the algorithm, just being driven by mathematics and who knows, maybe there's even a design bias, like they just weren't seeing the people that they wanted to see or the people they were hoping to find in the directories they were in. So I think these things are cool. I also think that like, you know, having one for disabled is fucking fantastic. There's um there's been a whole range of content creators that I like wish to actually highlight that they have a disability and that they are doing something exceptional. Um, and yeah, so I think this is going to pay tribute to a lot of people who just want to better identify their channel and better flag like, hey, this is either who I am or what the channel is about. And I think it's again, it's just kind of a quick primer. You see it underneath and you just like, oh, you know, this is a person who's doing an AMA, or this is a person whose mental health has been one that's been around for a while. Um, and so, but generally they were pretty vague. Like you'd have mental health, science, art, music, you know, like the topics were extremely broad. So I think now it's gonna bring in some specificity a little bit.
Specificity.
I think it's a really good thing. I think, you know, the more freedom people have to tag their content however they want, the better. I went through Reddit just to get kind of an idea of what people were saying on r/Twitch with all the stuff that's coming out this week. And a big concern I am seeing, which I know they did reference in the article, is that a lot of people seem worried that people are going to use those tags maliciously to target specific groups of people. And you know, I guess my only advice is just make sure you're in a position to moderate your own channel. You know, have your own mods prepared in case that's something that comes across to you. You know, it's unfortunate that there's those people exist. Yeah, blocked words and phrases and terms is a big thing in AutoMod, and you can do in your Twitch settings if that's a concern that you want to do. Yeah, it's unfortunate that some people are gonna, more than likely, people are gonna use these tags for malicious reasons. But you know, I don't
Just
think
gotta turn it around into content.
True. I got my first unban requests this week. I had unban requests.
Goddamn thing.
That's a side note, but yeah, it's it's obviously something people are concerned about. But
you found that right, Eve, the unban request. That was kind of low key brilliant.
Yeah,
I mean, granted,
that person's kind of my hero now.
In a different context, like, hey. In a different context, it would not ever be a thing to be celebrated or lifted up as a shining example of things to do. But dear God, was it funny?
Yeah, so I had 2 unban requests, and Shadow went in and did them. And one was approved, and they are now unbanned, and then the other one is banned.
Can I just say it because it was?
Just say it, yeah. Please say it.
Okay, yeah. So what got them banned is they kept asking like these questions as setups or jokes, and the last one they said was like, "Hey, do you like tulips?" And then you can see right there in the log that they got banned. And the unban request was because I'd like to see these 2 lips around these nuts. So they still got the joke through.
Yeah, it did make me laugh.
You're gonna ban me, funny. Huh?
I am just gonna start saving up those unban requests and turn it into content, like all the big streamers do. They do a stream just going through the unbans. So I'm gonna get a bit more ban happy, I think. Watch yourselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I know that's a concern that people have with, you know, folks using those tags to go and troll, but I mean, it might increase a little bit for a little while. I think, hopefully, you know, you're not going to see a huge increase in particularly nasty trolls coming around, but just do your due diligence. I always struggle to say that, but you know, make sure you're you know, you've got mods that are ready to ban and get them out.
Well, and as you mentioned there, both Eve and Condi, like there is an unban feature. So if people felt like they were, you know, let's put it this way: if someone comes in hot and heavy and clearly with ill intent, and they're being malicious in chat, just ban them, because it's not like they don't have a forum to actually like file a grievance. If it was, you know, you acting rashly, but let's be honest, if you have a tag in your stream saying, you know, like bisexual or disabled or whatever, and then or veteran, and like somebody comes in and harasses you about that, that's not a mistake. Like, that person's an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, they knew what they were doing. It's pretty apparent, you know, the fact that like they
Sorry, man. I was just
chose
having a bad day. My dad was a vet.
My
I'm
little
like,
brother was
fuck
on
that
my
guy,
account.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my dog
stuff
was
like
on
that.
my laptop and they were typing away. And
I did see. I know there's lots of topics to plow through, and we're kind of at the end for this one. But there's a couple things that I wanted to just like touch on at the end. One of them was some of the responses I've seen for this on Twitter. A lot of people are very excited about it, you know, because it's bringing about a certain amount of visibility, and it's bringing about features that people have been asking for. However, I also saw some backlash. There were some content creators that were actually quite pissed off at Twitch, more so because of the why is it fucking taking this long, and also why are you doing this just before June, before Pride Month, and are you just doing this as a sort of like could you have done this at any time, or were you just sitting on this until it was almost June so you can kind of like
I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah.
I hadn't thought of it either, but it is a point. I don't know really where I personally stand on. I mean, I guess for
Well,
me,
personally, Twitch is a business, and so 100%, I think this was planned.
yeah,
Like whether or
It's
not
definitely planned.
they thought about doing it. Like that's the thing. Like when did they actually think about doing it? You know what I mean? It's like did they think about and could have implemented it last year? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
but
of the
yeah,
mind. I'm of the
definitely
mind
planned.
that like there's no way. Let's be honest. There's no way to know what's going on in boardrooms and what they're deciding. And Humps is right. They are a business. Could they have strategically poised themselves to do it now, just before Pride Month, versus like say in February? Who fucking knows? But the thing is that like if you can't know, I don't want to spend my energy and frustration getting worked up over a hypothetical because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's you.
Well, then you're
who
not a
knows?
real Twitch streamer.
It's true. It's true. I didn't actually have to pay taxes this year because I made no profit in 2020 as a Twitch streamer. So what do I know? But I thought that was an interesting point to at least mention, because I think it is a valid point. Whether there is truth behind it, no one can know. You know, Emmett Smith, I'm sure, you know, is like very strategic about like the, you know, what they do for the channel and why they do it and when they do it. Um, I guess I'm trying to look at it from the point of view that it is a thing that will benefit streamers. It is a thing that will benefit communities and allow communities to grow and or be more visible. And to me, that's a good thing. So I want to celebrate that as a dub, and rather than like mire in speculation over like the timeliness of it. Um, but there is a community that like of people who are frustrated that it did take this long, because these have been requests that have been in the works for a long time, not just months but years. Like before Black Lives Matter, you know, was a movement, you know, people have been asking for a black tag, and people have been asking for a trans tag for years. So it's, you know, it's a long time coming, but I am happy that they're doing it. So I think that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So should we talk about some of the other big things that have come out from Twitch this week?
Yeah,
Because we got hit with kind of a lot.
About.
What was the next thing on the list? I don't have it in front of me.
So Twitch has introduced a new category called pools, hot tubs, and beaches.
Thank God.
So, just to kind of run through my quick thoughts on this. So, it has been kind of a hot topic for a while now. The hot tub meta, so called, on Twitch,
Hot
and
Hot tub.
it's kind of a hot button issue. A hot tub,
Topic.
yeah.
Hot tub an issue. It's been boiling over. It's been brewing.
It's been bubbling. Yeah.
It's been bubbling.
Basically, yeah, Twitch has introduced this new category. Now, the reason I'm 99% sure, and I think we can back this up with facts, the reason they're doing this is for advertising purposes. Okay?
Yeah.
Twitch has made their stance very clear that they're fine with hot tub streams, right? And, you know, I fully support that. Do what you got to do. Get your bag. You know, if you're succeeding on Twitch, fucking great, right? That's
fucking respect
phenomenal.
the hustle.
Absolutely. Like, you know what? If it wasn't successful,
it's so
people wouldn't
easy,
watch
though.
it. People wouldn't do it.
Oh my god, just put your tits out. It's so easy though. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
It sounds
we've
like a lot of jealous men wishing that they could do
yeah, right. Like we've
Put your dick out.
we've been you know, I feel like we've kind of made our stance.
Just cover the tip of it. Does that go against you?
You can
Is
show
Just
shaft.
put just a black
Is
electrical tape.
imprinting okay? Is imprinting okay?
Is it like
That's
a
what I
nipple
wanna know.
situation, or
How tight can my Speedo be? That's what I want to fucking know.
how much of your
One-
balls can be showing?
One tube sock. If the Red Hot Chili Peppers could do it on stage, I'm
Just
sure
a little
you
bit of
could.
side ball.
Oh, sideball. Yeah, no one talks about sideball. No one talks about it. No one brings up sideball. Why not? Hashtag normalize sideball.
Anyway, so the reason that they're doing this is for advertising purposes, and the reason I say that is because recently it came out that Amaranth, who's one of, if not the biggest, one of the biggest quote unquote hot tub streamers, she had her ads removed from her channel, so she no longer makes any ad revenue from Twitch. Now, if you stream on Twitch, you chances are know that ad revenue is not a big portion of most streamers' income. When you're maybe averaging as many viewers as she is, it's still not a non. It's a significant amount of money each month.
About
but it is,
30,000 a month.
yeah, right. But it's not her main source of income, as the size of streamer she is, right? That's not her main source. But
No,
it's still
but-
it's a not an insignificant amount of money, right? It's a lot of money.
I'd be okay with making that amount of money.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain, you know. But they've taken the ad revenue away from Amaranth. I don't know if it's been taken from any other like sort of prominent hot tub streamers, but that's the one that everyone's talking about at the minute. Now, I believe the reason that this whole new category has been created is because I'm assuming some advertisers have said to Twitch, we're not happy having our ads run on this type of content. I'm assuming, right? This is me just thinking, you know, as far as I can out the box here. They're saying out the hot tub. I'm thinking out the tub. No, doesn't. Never mind.
No.
They're thinking that they don't want their ads shown on that. Now, the way Twitch works is that advertisers can choose categories that they're happy for their ads to run in, right? Don't cringe me. Like, so I'm assuming, right, by moving all those kinds of streams into their own category, advertisers can then say, you know, yes to just chatting, no to hot tubs and pools or whatever, and they can break it down a little bit better so that, you know, if they don't want their, you know, like anything, right? If I want to run an ad on Twitch, but I don't think that the Animal Crossing community is my audience, then I'm not going to choose to advertise in that directory, perhaps, right?
I'm going to run it in the Doom community. But wait, they're the same community. I don't... Yeah.
But so that's my way of thinking about it, is that they've created this new category on Twitch so that advertisers can better decide where they want their ads to be shown, right? That's one side of it, I think. I think now will be interesting to see if there's a different breakdown of ad revenue based on what directory you're streaming in, if that's something that's coming.
I don't know the metrics, but looking at there was a post, there's an article put out on help.twitch.tv stating the announcement of this new category. So there was the original announcement post, but this goes into explaining some of the T's and C's of it. It says, this new category enables creators to continue to stream the content they want while also giving viewers and advertisers more control over their experience on Twitch. It says new category, same functionality. So it's functions similarly to any other category on Twitch. You select pools, hot tubs, and beaches, and when you go live, you can switch to a new category midstream if your content changes. As with other categories, you can only stream one content at a time. So this would not be, you're not streaming to IRL or just chatting and this. It is literally its own, it's as though you're choosing a game. Like am I going to go into the just chatting game today, or am I going to go into the hot tub game today? That's
Yeah.
basically how it will break down. Secondary to that, it says advertising for this directory, just like all other categories, ads are still a part of the viewing experience, and this is the salient bit. Advertisers can choose to include or remove the pools, hot tubs, and beaches category from their campaigns targeting criteria. Creators that have chosen swimwear that is allowed under the swim and beaches contextual exception to our standard nudity and attire policy must stream in that category. If you do not appropriately categorize your stream, you may be moved to pools, hot tubs, and beaches. So effectively, if you're in just chatting and you're dressed in attire that is basically and contextually you are doing a hot tub, pool, or whatever stream, they can just move you. So they won't there's not going to be any infraction, you're not flagged, there's no mark on your stream, there's no warning, they just are going to change your directory. If this happens, it says they will notify creators via email, presumably if it happens like repeat offenders.
Yeah. So they're going to have moderators moving people. And we've kind of seen before that the reason that is the case is that just chatting is and has been for the longest time the biggest directory on Twitch. Like if you
It's so diverse.
Well, I remember this being a controversy when the when chess started picking up on Twitch. A lot of streamers were playing chess, but they were in the just chatting directory. And the reason
Just
they were
catting?
the reason they were in just
catting
chatting
around.
was because they would get more viewers in just chatting than if they were in the chess directory, because just chatting is a bigger, more visible directory on Twitch. So it'll be interesting to see if that's something. I mean, I clicked on Amaranth's stream today and she was still in just chatting, but she was in the hot tub, so I don't know.
So
See, I think it's that kind of a bigger topic. Like, should just chatting be broken up anyway?
I think it could. I think
Is just chatting too big?
I think it could. I think it is to some degree.
Well, it was even more
'Cause, I
diverse
mean-
before, because IRL used to cover like art and body paint and all that. They broke down IRL into like just chatting, art and creative, podcasts. Like they already split it up because IRL just used to be everything. So
Yeah.
it could, there could be an argument for dividing it up even more, but it might not be in Twitch's best interest, because again, if they can keep everything in, if they can have it not be as saturated, then it's maybe good for them.
Well, for sure, if they can keep just chatting as big as it is, I mean, advertisement wise, it's easy because advertisers can just be like, yeah, we'll keep it in just chatting. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because just chatting is huge. If they break it up, they're like, oh, well, just chatting's fine. Talk shows, no. So I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, and I like how they've purposely even said in that communication that if we catch you in the wrong directory, you'll be moved. Like they know people are going to be trying to get around this.
To give people a sense of the numbers, out of the top 3 categories on Twitch, so this is viewership weekly average. The third place directory is 248,000 and change. So it's 8% of the total platform. Then you've got 353,000, which is 11% of the total platform. And at the top, you have 397,000, which is 12.8% of the platform. And that near 400,000 weekly viewership, that is just chatting. And that is almost anything. Like, I do think that, here's the thing, is that there's nothing wrong with it being that big. There's nothing wrong with it being at the top. And in fact, I actually think it's kind of more interesting that it's at the top rather than just one monolithic game. Because I think that it highlights and demonstrates that Twitch is more than just a gaming platform.
Yes.
It's a place for music. It's a place for science. It's a place for, it is a place for people to push the limit of creativity. And to me, that's a good thing. And I don't think that Twitch is going to get better by taking a category that isn't a game and basically bringing it down a peg or two. I think, though, that just chatting is this kind of anomalous bundle, and it is so big that also some of the biggest streamers are in just chatting. I don't think that there's a good way. We've already talked about like poor discoverability on the platform. I don't think that discoverability in just chatting is going to get any better. But if that is the directory that describes or can at least encompass what you do, that's not going to help you as a creator. I think maybe having tiers of that, like I think it would be interesting if you had a channel where somebody's just like reading, doing book readings, you know, like if you have like an audiobooks or, you know, like having subsections of that could be interesting. But what it would do though is that you would see the stratification of then just chatting being this big umbrella. If it was broken down into subcategories, you'd see those categories plummet all the way down, you know, to the bottom, well below, you know, Minecraft and Fortnite and Valorant and Grand Theft Auto and League of Legends. And like they basically wouldn't even be on the radar. So I don't know what the solution is there. I do think it is monolithic in this in this scope of like just how big the directory is, because it can include anything. I do want to like mention though that I haven't seen an update yet from Amaranth regarding whether or not she's been re-monetized for advertisements. I have her initial response to when she got demonetized, just specifically for ads. She still makes money for, you know, bits and subs, etc. But as of the 18th, yeah, actually, yeah, there hasn't. I just checked her Twitter. There hasn't been an update. So what she wrote on the 18th was, yesterday I was informed that Twitch has indefinitely suspended advertising on my channel. Twitch didn't reach out in any way whatsoever. I had to initiate the conversation after noticing, without prior warning, all ad revenue had disappeared from my channel analytics. This is an alarming precedent and serves as a stark warning that although content may not ostensibly break community guidelines or terms of service, Twitch has complete discretion to target individual channels and partially or wholly demonetize them for content that is deemed not advertiser friendly, something that there is no communicated guideline for. This leaves open-ended the question of where the line is drawn. Many people complain about TOS being unclear, but at least there's something to go by. There's no known policy for what results in a streamer being put on a blacklist. With this characteristic opacity, the only thing Twitch made clear is that it is unclear whether or when my account can be relisted. And that bit by her was extremely well spoken and well said, and like she's right. It is fucked up. Here's the thing is that was posted on the 18th of May. This other thing, I just want to check the timeline. On May 21st, so 2 days ago, is when they said that they're making a new directory. So they made a directory after they cut all of her advertising because she was deemed not ad safe.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's fucked up.
It is. I gave her my prime.
Like,
I'm helping her out. I give her my prime this month.
She needs it. I mean, just how the platform is set up, it is bullshit because of how. Now, there's conversations to be maybe had about like so when you enter Twitch as your business or as a business, you know, leg of whatever you're doing, is your goal, is the intent advertising money? Or is it mainly the Twitch side of it, which is the subs, bits, donos, and whatnot? Because the advertisement, I think for a lot of people, up until you get to where she's at, where she, you know, you're averaging 3K plus people, if not more, to where the advertisements actually, you know, like Grog said, what, 30K a month in advertisements? Obviously, that's a big chunk of change. And once you're at that point, then yeah, that's part of your business plan, I would say. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected revenue.
Yes,
you know, like that's part of your. It's still part of your expected income.
I guess it's just mainly because I don't understand how Twitch deals with advertisers. You know what I mean? Because it's like, is it the advertiser's right to be like, no, I don't want to advertise at that? You know what I mean? Like, is it their right to say that?
Well, I mean, I guess they put them in a position where they say,
because Twitch isn't necessarily violating their end of the deal. They're letting whoever wants to stream, you know, they're letting this. They're even, I mean, obviously the breaking down of just chatting and having the hot tub stream, I feel like is they're it's not a it wasn't a good thing that they did that. You know what I mean? Obviously, I think that's probably not a good thing for people to break it up like that for advertising wise. But is it? I mean, they're still saying, yeah, you can stream to that, you can still get subs, you still get Twitch, biddies and all that stuff. Is it the advertisement's right to say no?
I don't know if it's necessarily
So-
their right, but if they say to Twitch, "Hey, we're not happy about this. We'll pull all of our ads unless you do something about it," kind of puts Twitch in a position of, we get nothing from this advertiser, or we maybe do this. But I
I mean, at
truly
that point,
think
I
that's...
think Twitch is big enough they can say fuck off.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean, like you don't want to advertise. I mean, I feel like that's where a lot of the hurt and shit comes from. It's like you guys, Twitch should really be with
They
us.
should be defending their
Twitch
partners.
is big enough now to where they should be able to defend everybody. To where it's like, yeah, you don't want to advertise. Are you fucking stupid? Are you stupid not trying to advertise on Twitch? We're
But
huge. You're
at
not
the
trying to
s-
advertise on us? Get out of here.
At the same time, Twitch needs ads. That's obvious that they need ads.
Yeah.
They've been pushing ads hard on us for the last 12 months. Ads have got really bad on the platform. I mean, I never really run any ad block or anything because I tend to try and watch ads, or at least let them run out when I'm viewing a streamer, because I know that does have some level of support. I'm the same on YouTube. I don't run ad block on YouTube because I want the creators that I watch to make money, right? Like, so that's just my way of looking at it. But Twitch, because of the way Twitch works, here's the thing with YouTube, ad revenue for creators and for the platform is worth more because they can have really, really curated ads on content. Because guess what? They know the type of video that they're sponsoring and the type of video they're putting their ads on, because of the really robust system that YouTube has for identifying videos and for the algorithm. They can target their consumers directly, and they know that that's going to have a higher payoff, right? Because obviously, like I mentioned earlier, if I'm advertising a product, I want it to go to that potential target audience. I don't want it to go to just anybody, right? You're casting, rather than a huge net that's going to catch almost nothing, you're targeting those people. So on YouTube, the platform gets paid more for those ads because they're going to be more effective, and the creator gets paid a higher CPA for their ad views. On Twitch, it's not possible to do that the same way. It just isn't. So on Twitch, it is kind of just we just throw ads out. I mean, again, people have been saying they're getting adverts for like condoms and stuff on Twitch recently. And it's like, maybe on some kids content on Minecraft streamers, you don't necessarily want those ads running, but they don't really have the control.
Sexual education needs to be there as possible, brother. That's a whole
Well,
other
okay, yes.
conversation.
But I'm just saying, from a business point of view, they're not necessarily wanting to advertise their product to 12-year-olds because they're not likely to buy that product.
12-year-olds shouldn't be on the platform, but yeah.
But okay, but you see what I'm saying, right? I
know what you mean.
You're
Yeah.
on Twitch.
You're
It's very
advertising
much
who's going to make you money.
exactly, and on Twitch, it's very much casting that wide net because you can't really have a lot of control on who is seeing it because just the nature of the platform. So that's why streamers get a much lower CPA. That's why, I make like $1 a month in ad revenue, right? It's because that ad revenue is so small. And it's a problem that I think Twitch is trying to hopefully fix now with breaking down these directories, because if they say currently, I imagine you come to Twitch and say, I want to advertise on your site, and you just have I want to advertise in all categories, or I want to exclude hot tubs and pools, right? That seems to be the way they have it now.
There's two questions in chat that I want to talk about because they bounce off. The first bounces off of what you were just saying, Conti. Scott's question was, does an advertiser have to go through Twitch, or is the deal agreed with between the streamer and the company? To be clear, all advertising on Twitch is between Twitch and the company, not not the company doing the ads and the streamer. The streamer does not control what advertisements show up on the channel. The ads roll. If you're not a sub to the channel, there's always the pre-roll beforehand. There might be a mid-roll if you're using an ad blocker. There might be, because streamers can choose when ads are run and how many ads to run. If Condi chooses to run, the 8 minutes of ads at the start of his stream so that he can avoid a pre-roll for the first hour or whatever the time frame is, he can do that, but he doesn't have any say over what ads get streamed. going back to the text in for the Twitch help like overview, again it says um, advertisers can choose to include or remove the pools, hot tubs, and beaches category from their campaign's targeting criteria. So extrapolating from that, it would appear as though that Twitch basically just tells advertisers these are the directories that you can broadcast into. These are the ones that you want to be included in. It is effectively a buffet of what do you want to be in, what don't you want to be in, and your ads will hit those. But the thing is that it kind of cycles back to the original question that Humps raised, which is just chatting too big? Because if just chatting is this melange of different topics and different things and different, I mean, like some people might be doing a talk show under just chatting. Some people might be doing like maybe like not necessarily an art stream, but something art related. Like it can be almost anything. Just chatting is so wide open that I'm wondering if just chatting is a little bit of thin ice for advertisers not knowing where their ads are going to be represented.
Yeah.
And so because it's so massive and it's not granular, whereas like if you want to advertise to like League of Legends, or you want to advertise to Final Fantasy, like the kind of clientele that is watching that directory, the kind of content creators that are already in that directory, and there are some that are going to be doing some things that like set them apart from their peers as content creators, but at the same time you kind of know what you're getting. It is that narrow and niche a category. It's not the case with just chatting, and that's where before that's why I think it's so fucked up what happened to Amaranth, because forget like your views on, you know, whether you like them or don't like them as a streamer. The point is that they were done real dirty by Twitch by being demonetized days before a new category was introduced, and that new category specifically in its liner notes says that this is so that advertisers can more directly control whether or not they want to be part of this new phenomenon on the platform, and that anything happening in just chatting that is supposed to be in hot tubs and pools and beaches will be moved there. But like, why the fuck wasn't that created and then she was moved over? Like, she never needed to be demonetized.
Yeah, they could
like,
have just
that in
moved
of itself. And the thing is, what it does is it unfairly targets the most visible content creator doing that thing, and they just cut her down as a scapegoat. Whereas, how many other people who are streaming in just chatting up until this new directory was created were also, again, they were wearing, you know, beach appropriate or pool appropriate attire, doing their stream, getting their hustle on, making their money, and yet because they're so small, you know, on the visibility spectrum, for because they're not drawing the same amount of viewers, they didn't get demonetized. Like, that's fucked up. It's truly fucked up. I wonder, the last thing I wanted to tie in was a question from Arcade Riot. I wonder if Twitch tags tie into ads. Can advertisers choose tags that do or don't want to be associated with? We don't know. Now, actually, it's interesting that this tag thing is coming on the back of this new category, and it's coming on the back of whether or not people are, you know, going to be monetized for their content based on the adverts shown on their channel. I think it could be interesting that the tags might play into that, but that would just be speculation. But I think it might be smart. But also that also could be a little weird. Like, what if advertisers are not always actors in good
What if
faith?
the advertisers are like Chick-fil-A or Home Depot?
Exactly. Or Hobby Lobby. Yeah. Like, and they specifically choose not to be in LGBTQIA, like, you know, tag subdirectory. Like, I that's a whole other kettle of fish, and like, there's no way to know. But it's a good question. It's one worth knowing. But yeah, I think that, like, we know that companies they're not always just interested in, I'm trying to sell you a product. They're also trying to sell you an ideology in some cases. And some of them companies are, you know, they will promote, you know, that ideology. So, I mean, you know, Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A are very famously, you know, anti-gay. in terms of their ownership and upper management.
You can get better
if you-
chicken. Treat
if
yourself.
you if you go into a Chick-fil-A, or you go into a Hobby Lobby, know that you could be going to a Michael's or you could be going to another restaurant, but the thing is that those things carry weight, and I don't know. I'm getting off on a whole different tangent, but
you're right. You're
it's-
completely right. It opens up, giving advertisers more freedom with where they run their ads opens up a whole other set of questions and issues and kind of the moral decisions for Twitch to make. I mean, from a purely business standpoint, if Twitch can give advertisers the direct option to pick tags is one thing. I'm thinking more just directories. If they can say, well, I want to run the advert for the new Call of Duty game in the COD directory and maybe the Apex directory and other prominent first-person shooters, that's probably great. Those ads are probably worth more to the platform, to Twitch, and to the creator. I know we're saying, Twitch is huge. They can afford to say, fuck off, we don't want to work with you. But I truly think
I don't think
Twitch,
they're that big.
I think Twitch needs ads really bad. I think they really need ads. I truly believe that Amazon is up there looking at this tiny, tiny slice of the pie that is Twitch, and they're just going, you got to make more fucking money. You got to make more money. I really, really do believe that's why.
Where's my lunch money, twerp?
Yeah, that's why we're seeing mid-roll ads getting pushed hard. That's why we're seeing pre-rolls constantly up. That's why we're now seeing Twitch's own purple screen of death.
Well, I mean, that's
say,
because that's Amazon's whole shtick.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
How they do it. They advertise everywhere. So they bought Twitch. They're like, hey, this is, or they didn't create Twitch, right? They bought Twitch.
They bought
create
Twitch. Almost
bought
$1
Twitch.
billion. Almost
Yeah,
$1
that's
billion.
right. So they bought Twitch. Like, this is gonna be a fantastic way for us to continue to advertise our shit. So it makes sense what they're doing to Twitch. Like, I don't think Twitch didn't know what they were getting into when they agreed to this. They knew they were getting into some, like, all right, we're gonna be some peddling some stuff here soon.
Yeah.
But
I got an Amazon box last week. It advertised a TV show on it. On the
See?
outside of it.
everywhere.
I feel like
Everywhere.
the majority
weird.
of ads I see on Twitch are for Prime Video shows. Like,
And
I feel like
for
a
sure.
lot of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Well,
And it makes
especially because-
sense that they're doing it makes sense. It's just, I guess my frustration, and it's not that I think Twitch is big enough to because I understand that they're getting pushed by, like, rock hard place type thing. I get it, but at the same time, it's like maybe I'm just more frustrated with how the advertisement landscape is, like the idea of advertisement versus how the environment and landscape is now compared to, like, I feel like advertisement, it's like Mad Men, but now, you know what I mean? Like, I get targeting ads is probably the way to go. I understand targeted ads is the way to go, but when you're on a platform such as Twitch, and especially in, like, directories just chatting, where it's such a fucking wide net anyway, there's no such thing as targeted ads. Run your ads. Say, yeah, I'd like you to run me some ads in just chatting. Like, for you to specifically go, but there's some cleavage, and I know, Grog, you have the tweet. I liked it, and I should have retweeted it. It's by oh shit, who was it? You tweeted up. Oh, where is it? She oh, Grog, no, where's it at? She
You gotta give
basically
me more
said
context.
she basically said, like, advertisers been using sex for ever
Yeah.
to advertise with. It has, like, fucking think of Carl's Jr. just off the top of my head. Fucking doesn't get all over the place. It doesn't belong. And it's just fucking like Paris Hilton, just like soapy water all over the, like, they've been using sex to advertise. And she's like, they don't like the fact that you can do the same thing when women do the same thing and make direct money from it. That's what they don't like about it. And maybe that's true or not, but I mean, it's a good dig. I'll say that. I think it's a good dig because it is. It's bullshit. Like, advertising. They're not like some. I don't even know. It's just so fucking frustrating. Just advertise. You know what I mean? I don't want you to have some opinion on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have opinion on this bullshit. You're a company. Most people think you're garbage anyway, and you're just out for money. Play that role and just advertise to whoever. That's all you care about anyway. Bottom line, bottom line, bottom line. Stop fucking going around trying to target. Just shit your out. Put your stuff. If a gay man watches your shit, oh no, or it's like, who gives a fuck? He'll probably buy your shit.
So I found the tweet.
Ah!
The tweet was from Annie Crevice with a K. It says advertisers don't like sexualized content, ? Maybe look back at the advertising industry. It's full of sex. They just don't like it when women are in control of it and making money off of it.
Yeah.
And I liked that tweet. I retweeted the tweet. It is salient. And the thing is that there was I want to see if I can try and find it because it was based off of Amaranth's previous tweet, but basically you do have, you'll have condoms companies making these like, very wink wink nudge nudge, like, I mean, it's sex driven advertising, and that's
or any
fine,
Arby's
but
ad ever.
yeah, exactly.
We have the meats.
We have the meats. We have the meats. We have the meats. But her Amaranth's response got a response to it from Soraya Spooks. They'll litter our channels with condom advertisements. Such a backwards methodology. Like, it's true. It's sex seems to be a problem when it's rooted in a particular gender representation. If it's female, and it's sex related, suddenly everything is treated with like kid gloves, and it's like it's a very sensitive, delicate thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's dudes and their dicks, it's fair game, and there's no problem at all. So yeah.
And the whole
I
thing is just so ridiculous as well, because it's just cutting off your nose to spite your face. At the end of the day, some of this content is the most viewed content on the platform right now, and refusing to advertise on it, it's lose-lose. It's so it doesn't seem to serve any purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in consensus though that they really did Amaranth dirty, and anyone else that maybe just didn't get the same publicity to talk about it. But like anyone who was demonetized because they were showing skin, but still within the terms of TOS, and because they have a body that society sexualizes, that they were demonetized and removed from the eligibility of their peers to receive money from advertisers, simply because a few days later or a week later, they're going to introduce a category where advertisers can then say,
Opt
hey,
out
we're on
of.
board with this.
Yeah.
Like, that's just fucking shitty. Like, don't just use that person, the most, pivotal person that you can find, and just, basically take them to the gallows and hang them out to dry in front of everybody. And then you go and you fix the problem, which you could have afforded them
it's
if you just let them
essentially
move into
saying
that category.
Back when Ninja was on, he's back on Twitch, right?
Yeah, he's on Twitch.
Yeah. So back when Ninja was huge on Twitch, like OG Ninja. I mean, it's essentially saying, oh, we don't like the blue hair, and cut his advertisements away because he had blue hair. Like, that's what it is. Blue hair is within Twitch terms of service.
Yeah.
But advertisers didn't like blue hair, and they didn't. I mean, that's what it is. But it's like, that's the level in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
Blue hair, someone wearing a bikini. Who gives a
fuck? It's so pedantic and childish.
There's children on here. Then watch what they're watching.
I just
That's
severely.
That's what I don't get, because again, as per the TOS, there aren't children. Well, I mean, technically, you would argue that a 14-year-old is, they're still a kid. They're still a child. But I mean, you have to be 13 or older. Like, that you're basically at 13, you can see PG-13. Like, there's no fucking nudity in those movies, just like there's no nudity on Twitch. Like, one thing that has bothered me is like all of these like, responses on Twitter where people like write like, oh, lol, ratioed, and they write like they have a picture of like, like it's like Pornhub, but like with the Twitch, like logo. And it's like, T-Rex Sam put out a tweet that I wish I could find it offhand, but to paraphrase, he was basically like, I don't think any of you have seen fucking pornography. If you're trying to make the parallel that somehow this is equivalent to porn, like you should really look at a porn site because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Your world is gonna.
However, according to the statistics, you probably know what Pornhub looks like.
Yeah. It bothers me because you have these people who are like doing this like white knight morality shit, and it's just like, who are you doing this on behalf of? Like, it seems like this is the equivalent of like the Simpsons, please think of the children. But like, I mean, the people on the platform are, if they're following the guidelines, are of an age where, based on the terms of service that's currently there and the code of conduct regarding attire, that none of these streamers are breaking any rules. They're not. And what those kids are seeing, could it be sexually suggestive? Sure. But that's on the streamer for how, I mean, if someone is, acting in a way that is overly sexually suggestive, I mean, you could do that fully clothed. Like we could do, I mean, right now we could do something on this channel, restrain yourself, Humps. But like we could do stuff right now that is extremely sexually suggestive.
Go on.
And we would still
for example,
but you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying that what bugs me is the fact that a lot of this comes back to people trying to uphold some sort of weird traditionalist value of like, well, that's just not done. And it's just like, fuck you. Like, how do you decide for other people what is or isn't done? Like, they're not nude. Like you, and the it goes back to things that we've talked about in previous weeks, but it's like the whole like, oh, well, you'd get more views or make more money if you had boobs. And it's like, that might be true, but that's more of a reflection of society and how we function as a group of humans than it does the platform. Like that's not on Twitch. That's on us and how we treat our fellow human beings and how we
whatever happened to hate the game, not the player? What happened to that? You know what I mean? That used to mean something. I hate the game, not the player.
I still think the whole thing just comes down to, if you're a person who is worried about, streamers sitting in hot tubs being more successful than you, you're doing it wrong. If you're trying to succeed, stop fucking looking at other people and just look at your own shit. That's the bottom line. It does not matter.
Gonna pay me to look at my own shit? That's fucking weird.
It doesn't matter what anyone else on the platform is doing.
I mean, I'll do it.
Corn? There's that tooth I've been looking for.
Just to
for like 3 days.
Just to underline this, I hope, and I really am hoping that by next week Amaranth is re-monetized and is able to stream in that category and has her ads back on, because there's
not
absolutely
hashtag, there better be one.
There's no fucking excuse now that they have this whole new directory why she should be instantly monetized again in the new directory, because as you've mentioned, it was like, hey, we have a problem, bam, Amaranth's demonetized, here's a solution 2 days later. So why the fuck is she not got her ads back? She should have them back. I'm mad about it. Anyway, we have so much more to talk about, and we're already like over an hour deep.
The next one's quick.
What was the next one?
Twitch has disabled sending emails to Twitch channel subscribers. So for anyone who didn't know, you might not have ever seen this because, one, a lot of channels that I sub to or follow like don't take advantage of this tool. I've seen some people use it in regards to their push to partners to try and reach out to people who may not be on a Discord for that channel. But creators, if you were sub to them, had the ability to basically, from their dashboard, compose an email, and it would send it out to all of their subs. And it was text based. That's all it was. You couldn't like really embed images or other stuff. You could apply hyperlinks, but essentially it was a newsletter. It was at will. You chose whether you wanted to do it or not. There was no scheduling feature, so you couldn't do like a monthly letterhead that would just go out at the first of the month. This was just, if Eve said, I want everyone to know, everyone who's a sub, that I'm going to be making this change to the channel, or I'm going to be streaming on these new days or whatever, she could have sent that email. Now,
I think it's fucked up that they just excluded DOMs to begin with.
it's yeah.
It's a dumb joke.
Hey, fuck
No,
you.
that's
Sorry.
pretty good.
If you messed up, you had a better one. That's
Yeah.
a dumb joke. God, you're so stupid.
Sorry, all right. It just caught.
Just listen, just because she's on top of her game and you're on the bottom.
And she
doesn't-
just.
There
we go.
Okay,
There we go.
okay.
There we
All
go.
right.
I hate it here.
All right. So basically Twitch sent out an email that was not going to hit everybody's inbox. It wasn't going to hit every affiliate or partner. It was only those who had used the feature in the last 30 days, and it read as follows. You're receiving the email because we've noticed that you've used the email my subs feature. We're upgrading the service with the moderation capabilities found on Twitch to ensure the safety and community of our guidelines. As a user of this feature, we want to let you know that we're temporarily suspending it until we can complete these updates. We're working on ways to make Twitch a safer place for our creators and viewers, and appreciate your patience as we do so. Basically, it was allowing some creators to violate content, well, to send content that violated their terms of service. So it's unclear what those examples were. Some people were saying that it was linking to OnlyFans, or it was linking to, other things that basically, like, there were things that you shouldn't be sending to mass groups of people via an email, and some people did it, and as a result, the service is defunct for now. Maybe it'll return later. There's not much to talk about.
It's just interesting. I've only ever used it
Nothing
once or twice.
Going to be coming back next month with restrictions or something. Where is that?
Yeah,
thing you posted?
I've never used it. I've received them from
They
people
will bring it
that
back
I've been
in
subbed to, but I've
few
never used
months
it.
when safety measures are put in place.
Yeah.
Dude, I got
sweet.
gifted. I just side note, I got gifted a sub to someone, and they sent out a mass sub email literally every day when they went live.
God.
Oh.
That was
no.
the worst. And I didn't even sub to them. I was gifted, and I got the fucking email every day that just said, I'm live. And I was like, I hate this.
I actually got that sub to me, and I wanted you to suffer as well, so I gifted you the sub. That's actually what I'm going to do now. That's a great strat.
That's awful,
People you
dude.
don't like, you just give them subs to that.
When you
That
get
was the
gifted
worst.
something like that, it's just so confusing because it'll be like, so and so sent you a message, and I'm like, what? Oh, wait, who? What?
Yeah. Yeah. I personally, yeah, it's not something I've used a lot, once or twice. But, yeah, I mean, like you say, they're giving us more control, or Twitch is getting more control so they can't link things. I mean, we all know you're not allowed to promote not safe for work things on Twitch, and using an extension of Twitch, which is their tool to mass email all your subs. It's the same exact thing. You're just still promoting on Twitch. It's like you're not allowed to have a bot in your chat that links you to, their Ceiling Fans account. So it's the same thing, It's
Stealing fans.
Ceiling Fans. Was the next one the regional price thing?
One quick thing before that, there was a little hullabaloo that seemed to last a few days where Twitch payouts were less than expected or estimated.
Oh, yeah.
Twitch
I saw
support
this.
replied with the following. It says, we
I
have
hadn't noticed.
identified and corrected an error on the channel analytics dashboard that increased the amount of Prime subs displayed for April. The dashboard should now show the correct total and align with the payout for this period. It was a kind of a big little nothing. People were really pissed off because they were looking at the dashboard for their estimated payout for that month, and then what they got was less. Most people, it was in the ballpark of maybe 5 to 10%. Some people it was higher. But again, the reason for that discrepancy was because this is pertaining to Prime subs. So for some reason, the dashboard was misrepresenting the percentage cut for Prime subs. So some channels get a ton of Prime subs as one of their main monthly sources of income, and others, it may just be more direct subs, people who are actually paying a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 sub, or just straight gifted subs. So yeah, that was just a goof. But the money was creators never lost money. It was just a projection that was higher than it should have been.
Yeah. Just an error on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Speaking of creators losing money, Yeah, Twitch brought out an article detailing their plans moving forward to introduce regional subscription pricing. So quick plug, I made like a half an hour long video about this on my YouTube because it was quite an interesting thing to dig into. The TLDR, effectively, a sub currently $4.99 USD, right? In the UK, it's £4.99, and in various different places, it is in their own currencies, but they're not all the same. Certain regions, a sub is far more money than you would even think. I believe somebody worked out the current price of a tier 1 sub in Mexico equates to over 100 USD for 1 month, a tier 1 sub, right? Now, Twitch said in the article, in places such as Turkey, Mexico, and other countries they mentioned, there's a significantly lower amount of subscribers, you know, as compared to viewers in that region. And that's because the pricing is so insane that it doesn't make sense for those people to subscribe. So they're going to be changing basically everywhere, apart from the US and Canada and a few other places they mentioned. They're going to be changing the price of subs. And I think they said in all cases or most cases, they're going to be cheaper, right? Which is fantastic. But I still don't fully understand the way it works because I believe they mentioned the price in like Mexico is the example I remember the best. The price is going to be reduced down, so the equivalent will now be like a tier 1 sub will be like $1 US for a 1 month sub when you translate the currency. So overall, great news, right? A lot more people are going to be able to subscribe to their favorite channel.
Just to quickly clarify, with all these differences, the streamer still just gets the exact same cut that they would have before.
So this is the interesting thing.
Like when it was the way it was.
Well, yes and no. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. So again, just to go through, if you're a viewer and you live in a country where your subs are more expensive, I mean, like I say, in the UK, pounds and dollars are not equal. So technically I pay more for a 1 month sub than like you guys would in the US. So that's, I assume, going to be then changing at some point. If I, okay, how do I explain this? Because it's confusing, right? I still get 50%. That's not, you know, if you are in Mexico and you sub for $1 US, I don't still get $2.50 for that sub. I get 50 cents. You are getting a 50-50 split with Twitch. So if subs are cheaper, you're earning less per sub. So now, not all tier 1 subs are going to be equal. A tier 1 sub in the US is still going to be $4.99, so the subscriber's still going to get, the viewer, the creator is still going to get half of that. But a sub in another country where it's cheaper, you're still just getting half of that. So your sub revenue, if your audience is mostly outside of the US, is going to go down. If you've got 100 subs 1 month, 100 subs the next month, but some of those 100 are outside the US, you're going to make less money. So that is the first bit that people are mad about or upset about originally, right? Because creators are going to be getting less per sub. Twitch is going, basically the overarching thing that Twitch has said is that cheaper subs equals more subs. So you're going to be fine, right? That's what they're saying. They say that, you know, by opening up these areas of the world where a subscription is not feasible, they're expecting that streamers are going to see higher actual counts of subscribers, right? Because more people can sub, which is great in theory. And I think overall probably does make sense. If more people can subscribe, then hopefully you're going to see more subs. However, they recognize that this is going to impact creators. So Twitch is actually running a program over the next 12 months where they're going to make up the difference in certain cases. So this is where it gets really interesting, right? If you're a creator and over 20% of your audience is in a country where the price has dropped, you could be eligible. Now, the way they're going to work this out is they're going to look at your previous 3 months stream stats. They're going to calculate a baseline, how many hours you stream on month per average based on the last 3 months, and how many subs you had on average per month, or what your revenue from subs is. They're going to look at that baseline, and then the first month where the changes come into place, as long as you hit 80% of your hours streamed, right? So according, if your baseline is 100 hours, as long as you stream 80 or more, you're eligible. And then if you notice a decrease in sub revenue, but you have roughly the same amount of subs, they're going to pay the difference to you, right? For 3 months, they're going to pay the full difference. For the following 3 months, it'll be lowered to 75%. Following 3 months, 50%. The next 3 months, they'll pay 25% of the difference. And by the end of the year, they're not paying you anymore, right? So this is effectively Twitch saying, we know that you're going to lose sub revenue. So as long as you are still streaming the same and people are still subbing, if you're physically losing money because of this, you could be eligible for Twitch to make up the difference and pay you the extra. So Twitch is actually putting their hands in their own pockets to pay their creators during this transition of sub pricing, which is honestly a baller move. Like, they don't actually have to do that. Sorry,
everything you've said, because I've only heard this based on how you've described it, and I'm game for all of it. I think it's fantastic. I think the fact that people may lose money, or, I mean, sure, that sucks, but it's bringing the things back down to what it should have been. You know what I mean? Like $5 here, is it the same as $5 in Mexico? It's not the same dollars. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing everywhere. Things don't cost the same. It's not equal across. So bringing it down to an actual level playing field, that's great. That's fantastic. You are going to have more subs. I think the way that they're going to play it out, paying you if you qualify for a year basically, and gradually get you down to where you're not getting a hard hit, is a fantastic, like you said, it's a ballin' ass fantastic move.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think will affect people and probably be a statistical relevance in their game plan, because I do agree with just statistically, like, you open it up, making it cheaper, people that don't normally sub, I think it will increase the amount of subs and may or may not equal out, but, you know, it won't be such a hard hit over, you know, initially. VPNs, that's where it's going to hurt, because people in America, it's like $5 here. Okay, well, I also have a VPN that I have, so I'll just go buy all my subs in Mexico. That's where I think it's going to be.
So
that's
it doesn't work.
It won't work like that.
Really?
So this got brought up in my chat while I was going through it all.
Okay.
It's based on where the payment is coming from. So I can VPN to wherever I want, but that money still comes out of my bank account, which is registered in the UK.
Now, what if I use my Swedish bank account?
Well, then
you'd have to go through the trouble of registering a bank account in maybe, say, Mexico or Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, they
all of that
logistically,
entails.
how difficult is this?
Is it worth saving like $4 a month?
Is it worth $250? I don't know.
It's interesting you say that though, because that was one of the first things that my chat asked, and it was referenced in the article, saying it's based on where the money is coming from, the bank account or service you're using, and the currency there. So VPNs, in theory, won't matter, which is interesting. The thing is, it is confusing, right? It's a confusing topic because there's all sorts of ifs and buts and maybe this and maybe that. For example, I think, so to reference what Scott was saying, right? I'm just going to read his comment in chat. So he's saying, in theory, playing devil's advocate, if a Mexican streamer bases their content and streaming time to favor a UK audience, they're going to be likely to pull in more UK subs, and therefore they'll receive 50% of those subs, so £2.50 per sub rather than $1.50. It is purely based on where your audience is. So again, I think because prices in the UK are going to come down, probably not a lot, right? Because there's not like massive discrepancy between the pound and dollar, right? Prices in the UK are going to come down. So a large part of my subscriber base is probably in the UK. Because I'm a UK streamer, I stream at those times, and a lot of my audience live in the UK. So in theory, if I get the same amount of subs next month as I did this month, and the price goes down, I'm going to drop. And I would say, yeah, I can probably comfortably say more than 20% of my audience is the UK in terms of
the other
subscribers.
3 of us here on the panel are going to do okay because we've siphoned away a bunch of your European viewers. And so,
well, but again,
we'll be all right.
If over 20% of your sub base comes from outside of the US, then you'll be eligible for that payment by Twitch.
Hell yeah, baby. Every
But-
3 months, I'm going to be eligible for this shit.
Assuming if you have to stream, like I said, you have to stream 80% of your baseline. And by the way, your baseline is going to be viewable in your dashboard. So you can go to your dashboard and see what Twitch has analyzed your baseline hours for stream is. I don't know if they're going to demonstrate the baseline revenue.
Is
or
it live
not.
now?
I don't think it's live yet. I think the Turkey and Mexico were the first 2 countries where the sub prices was dropping, and I believe that has already changed, or it changes very, very soon. But they're going to be adding more countries as it goes, right? You have to make sure you hit that 80%. So you can't just go, I'm going to take the next 3 months off, and Twitch is going to just pay me the difference. Like, you have to be hitting roughly the same amount of hours subscribed. And also they said if you get a massive influx in subscribers, and therefore you're not, you know, if you go from 10 subs to like 100 subs the next month, even though those subs are worth less, they're not going to pay you the difference because you're getting 100 subs as compared to what your average
stats
is.
if they're just basing it over 3 months? Can I have some people like, can I like sub, gift subs to myself, or have people sub to me so my baseline's higher?
You
I don't
probably
know if
shouldn't
gift
be
subs
scheming
count.
about this on the platform.
It's a joke, Twitch. Obviously, I'm not going to do that.
I don't
But
know.
if I were,
But
I don't
if
know how
I'm
gift.
just wondering, if I were, could I get away with it?
Again, I don't know. I don't know how gift subs would work with that, because again, if it's a gift sub, then that essentially, if someone gifts 100 subs and they're in the US, then that's going to completely skew your average. But then it's like, well, what if some of those subs went to people that are outside of the US? It was still paid for in that currency, so I guess it would still count as that. It's really confusing, and it's going to be more and more confusing because, some countries are going to be wildly different prices for subs.
And it's going to be confusing too, because people are going to pick one little thing about this and blow it up, or one little thing about that and
Well,
blow
that's
it up,
it.
And then it's just going to get all super confusing. And
Everybody
it
on
seems like it's actually kind of well thought out, well planned. I mean, as far as how you made it seem, I mean, I think this is the most well thought out.
So it reminds me
of Twitch ever.
A few years ago, I worked at a bank, and when I was first taken on, the salary was pretty low, but the reason for it was because the bonuses that you could accrue each month were huge, and it had been that way for years. Everyone had got so used to getting these big bonuses every month that's effectively they just counted as part of their salary. And at one point, not long after I started, they said no more bonuses, but everyone's going to get a slight bump to their salary to make up for it. But the company knew everybody's got used to this, so they, for the next 6 months or whatever, they continued paying bonuses at a gradually decreasing amount to help people wean themselves off of it and get back into a new routine. This reminds me in a big way of that, because Twitch doesn't have to pay you this difference. As far as I'm aware, Twitch don't have to do that. Twitch can just say, well, tough shit. Like, you're going to probably get more subs now because it's cheaper. So deal with it. They could say that, but they're actually taking the step to go and make up. And I mean, for a lot of smaller creators, it's probably not going to be a lot of money out of Twitch's pocket each month, but it's a gesture that I think is really it's a baller move by Twitch. I really think it's a smart way of doing it, and people can get mad about it, but like, fuck, they've covered all bases as far as I can see.
I think most of the people getting mad didn't get past the headline.
I think so too.
Yeah, probably.
I think so too.
90% of the reason, yeah.
I think a lot of it is endemic of just sort of a larger social media problem, which is people don't read the article, people just react to the headline. So any takeaway, and the thing is, and then that stuff kind of perpetuates because all it needs is for someone moderately visible to have a hot take that is the wrong one, or
Joe
at least
Rogan.
maybe a misinformed one, and then to have others see that, and then they incorporate that as part of their new vocabulary.
Twitch is taking our money.
Yeah, they took our gerbs. It's gonna just be most of the bad reactions are people who it just didn't really seem like they got it. They didn't read. It is a bold experiment. Kat said, further up the comment chain that, like, that like it's a theory, but it could be completely incorrect. Like they're banking on a lot of things playing out a set way. If they didn't read the room right, it could not work out well. However, yeah, I do think that they put a lot of thought into it. And I think it's going to be interesting. And the fact that they built a 12-month safety net for people who might be adversely affected while the dust settles and they can kind of like adjust is smart, and it's forward thinking in that regard.
And to pay 100% for the first 3 months of the difference is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, they're running this whole thing over a year, and for some of these big creators, particularly, well, it's hard to say because they're working at a baseline. So like, you know, if there's maybe a prominent creator in a country where there's a massive price drop, then presumably their baseline wouldn't be as high anyway, so they wouldn't have to pay a massive difference. Because I think they're counting on, hey, you know, in this country we've reduced the price a large amount. You know, here's the most prominent streamer in that directory. They're counting on that person getting a huge influx of new subs so they don't have to pay the difference. This is really to kind of hit those people in the middle that aren't going to get this massive influx, but maybe their regular audience is suddenly going to have a price drop and they're going to just lose out the difference in between. I was shocked to see how much a sub cost in some places currently. I mean, like, it was insane how much like a 1 month tier 1 sub could cost. It's you know, it reminds me of that clip of I cannot remember her name, but the clip where she's like, it's $5.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, this is gonna have new people making new videos. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, it's $1.50. It's only $1.50.
Yeah. But it is, I worry now because
thank
it's
you for
like,
reminding me. I completely forgot about that.
I don't want it to be like, oh, hey, thanks for the sub. Where do you live, by the way? Oh, you live just at the calculator. Okay, well, I mean, like,
fuck off.
You know,
I'll give you 2/3 of
it. It does make some.
Now to support people in other countries being able to get Twitch subs.
Yeah, I'll have like, instead of sub only mode, it's gonna be like American sub only mode. It's like it just even alienates even more people. Fuck yeah.
It's very interesting, and it is a big change for Twitch. It's a huge thing that they're actually that they're doing this, and I think overall, yes, there might be some people that end up losing out short term, but if you are serious about this, if this is your job, if that's your main source of income, you know, you've got a year to recover from to adapt, right? Like, it's just
adapt, man.
Yeah, just adapt.
Just adapt.
It's I do think overall, I mean, fucking subs are going to be cheaper for like 99% of people. That's amazing. That's fucking great. Yeah. Like, how is that a bad thing, you know? So like I say, it is a complex and convoluted system. Overall, I mean, the main point is subs are going to cost less, so streamers are going to get paid less for those subs that are cheaper. But the intricacies of this replacement payment that Twitch is doing, it is confusing. You know, you might not be eligible in some cases, you might be eligible in others. It's gonna be weird, and
they're gonna have new stats. Instead of having like, you're gonna have somebody that has like the most sub channel, you're gonna have like the most sub channel, but then you have like the most like expensive channel.
This is what something I legitimately saw, because everyone was like, well, you know, Ludwig just set the record for highest number of subs, and that's now gonna kind of never be beat because the whole game's changing now. You know, like if somebody gets the same amount of subs or higher, but maybe they're at a much cheaper cost, like it's gonna kind of mix up that whole thing. I mean, the you know, most subbed person on Twitch now could be making less than the second most. Like it's all kinds of confusing. So it's very interesting. Like I say, I made, just to plug again, I made a full video reading through the whole article and explaining it because it is complicated.
You didn't talk to us about that beforehand, so I don't think you should be
Listen,
promoting yourself right now.
We all get a chance to plug. Feel free. What videos have you made recently, Humps?
Shut the fuck up.
But it's I think it's a good
Those
move
videos
by
I
Twitch.
can't share with you, Condi. Not on stream anyway.
Those are the ones I want you to share with me. But yeah, it's crazy. And also, here's the other slight caveat: Prime subs will also be affected by the price change. So if you're in a country where a sub now costs $1, your Prime will still only be worth $1, which I thought was interesting. I wasn't sure if they were going to affect Primes, but as far as I know, from what I read, Prime subs are also going to be changing based on where you are in the world.
I'd be curious to know. I'm sure we could get the information. I just don't have it at hand. But I'd be curious to know if the cost of Prime, where it is available in other countries, if that will be changing as well, because Prime extends beyond
Yes.
Twitch. Prime is obviously like a service that is an extension of Amazon regarding like free 2-day shipping and access to original content on their streaming platform and for like TV and film and stuff. So yeah, I wonder if be curious to know if that's changing as well. If there's like a localized or regionalized shift in Prime costs, or maybe it was already there. To wit, I wonder if they were already being affected, like if Prime subs were already being affected by this.
Yeah, I haven't seen any announcements from Amazon directly about Prime changing in various countries in terms of price. I guess if that was the case, Twitch wouldn't be the ones announcing it. They would just be focusing on the Twitch side of it. But I haven't seen anything from Amazon. This to me more seems like a move that hasn't come from the top. This seems like a Twitch decision rather than an Amazon decision. And Prime's subs were just kind of thrown in there. Because it is weird because, like, well, obviously a Prime sub is quote unquote free as long as you're paying for your Amazon Prime. That's just, I don't even want to start getting into that whole maze of thoughts because it'll be very confusing. But overall, fucking good move by Twitch. They covered all bases. People, like you said, Grog, I think people that are mad haven't read and fully understood what's going on. They just see, oh, subs are cheaper, I'm going to get paid less. Twitch bad, me angry. I think that's really it. We need to talk about chants.
Yeah, chants is a probably the last thing we'll talk about for Twitch today. It was a limited time experiment. Twitch support tweeted out a thing saying some communities will notice a new way to, quote, chant during hype moments on stream. Creators and mods can use the /chant to suggest messages with text and or emotes in chant. Viewers will see a private call out with the chant and can dismiss or participate. It just seems like it's not fully planned out yet. Effectively, think of it this way: like when you go and raid another channel and people are like, all right, when we get there, everyone use the copy pasta and like, just participate in the raid and be like, woo, Condi raid incoming, like that kind of thing. It's effectively that, but like more for hype train level situations within your own channel. Again, we don't have much more to talk about because it's a thing that like showed up by accident. They live tested it on Russian and I think a couple other.
I saw Mizkif had a clip.
Yeah, a couple regional ones, but like it was very, very limited in release, and I think they're just trying to figure it out. It may never become a thing. It was just like think of Hype Train, but people just sort of like cheer / chanting along with during like an event or activity.
Yeah,
I don't know. But basically it's spamming chat, so I don't know.
I saw a clip from Mizkif where one of the mods started a chant, and then it was just a whole sea of his chat all being timed out. Just hundreds of people all getting timed out by the bot for whatever they were chanting. Really, really funny clip. Mizkif was just like, what is happening? Interesting feature.
We do have a cool topic that Humps wanted to share with us this week. Guardian Theater.
Nah, I changed my mind.
Nah, I need to go.
I'm just kidding.
Thanks for the podcast. It's been
all right,
good.
it's been fun. See you later.
Better ones.
No, yeah. So I've been made aware. I was streaming earlier this week, and I was made aware of this thing. I never heard of it. Specifically for Destiny 2, it's called Guardian Theater. They have one for Warzone. It's wzranked.com. You can. That's just a big stat stuff, but there's a new feature on there that you can actually. Anyway, what Guardian Theater specifically for Destiny, the Warzone one works the same, and I imagine other ones work the same. You basically link your whatever platform you're on, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. You link your username, your account, and then you also link your Twitch account. And when you do that, it just searches through for like the past like 30 days or whatever, and it brings up just shit ton of videos of any streamer you've played against, playing in PvP or whatever. Specifically for Destiny was PvP. So any streamer that you've come up against on your team or on the other side of the team, you can either it brings up, and it's actually the website's janky. The guy who made it, when I was researching it, he even said, he was like, yeah, this is pretty janky. It's an alpha, just bear with me type of thing. But you guys wanted this thing, so. But you look it up and you just scroll through, and the video it's not an actual clip of that, but it basically goes to the part of the stream that you were there, that you played against them. I don't know how it does this, how it finds out who you played in. This guy's, I mean, it's an alpha, but it works great. Mine, apparently, if you are a streamer, it kind of bugs the system a little bit. So like 98% of the videos, I have it pulled up for me right now. 98% of the videos are of me. I play with myself regularly.
I hope not on.
But I have a couple others, like I played against Leopard the other day. And then I found a couple other streamers and stuff, and like I don't know, it's just interesting.
Learn how to play a game.
Yeah, the Leopard. But what I thought was interesting, so like I don't know how this could be used. I mean, people use it for however they want. I imagine there's some trolling involved in a lot of this. I would go. I mean, it's the internet. That's what the internet does. I get
It's
it.
just a given.
I was more interested in an aspect that I was made aware of. There was a few viewers in my chat, followers that have been in my chat for a while now. Both of them found me through this. One directly played against and just was looking through Guardian Theater, found me, liked my stream, and came in, and now we play together and stuff. I think we play together. Toaster. And then another one said they were watching another streamer's stream playing Destiny, and I forget if they said that like they just wanted to check out who I was, because whether I don't know, if they thought I was hacking or some shit. Probably that's usually what people do in Destiny.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and or this guy was complete garbage. Let's fucking see what he looks like or something like that. And while watching their stream, this guy was being a little toxic about it or whatever. Liked my vibe way better. Went to my channel and threw me a follow and came to my channel instead. So like, I just thought that was a cool aspect of what is probably more trolly. Maybe not. I don't know. Just kind of a cool. Will probably turn into trolly, I guess. But kind of a cool, different aspect to where you can gain. It's an outlet to gain followers, gain viewers, gain what's the word I'm looking for?
Audience.
Audience. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Something I thought was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's even just interesting to go back and see if you've played against any streamers and stuff, because often you'll have like, I see a lot of the bigger streamers will put streamer mode on in like battle royales and things, so you don't know. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And it's like without having to put TTV in your name or.
Oh yeah. But I was telling you and Manu yesterday, because me and Manu were playing, and one of the game matches that we played against a streamer, and it was just funny to listen to how mainly who he was playing with talk about us. He was like, "Oh yeah, Obito is his name in game." And he was like, "Obito's the only good one." He's like, the other two are mediocre. Don't worry about them. It was just funny.
Yeah, it's good.
It was interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna actually just go and dig through it and have a look and see as well, because it's quite interesting. I remember back in the day when years and years ago when Fortnite was big, I came up against Dr. Lupo, Gathalion, and True Vanguard. They destroyed me, but that was fun. I got shotgun in the face by Dr. Lupo. I was like, well, if I had to be killed by someone, my friend did.
Proud moment in a way.
At least the money shot was from someone I love.
Yeah, I remember the person in my team managed to get Gathalion.
If it was only Ludwig.
Yeah, well, if only one day. Anyway, do we have anything else to cover? We've been going 2 hours today. Look at us.
That's pretty much it.
That was
I would
everything on the
hope so.
docket.
That was yeah.
Well, like I say, I think it'll be interesting to keep, to keep an eye on things developing. I want to see if Amaranth does get her, ads back. I want to see when this dashboard update kind of gets added, so we can see like what
we
Twitch
can
thinks our
make
baseline
a
is.
update little list of things so we can actually get some updates on some of this stuff.
Yeah,
I can track it anyway.
I think we keep an eye on our dashboards and see if the, if the new stats get displayed on there and things like that. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll update as and when we get results on it. And I'll be.
I also wanted to share something that was shared with our community on. We have a Discord. We had a suggestion from Bulgrohik where there's an extension, just so that people know. It's a browser extension basically, and it's for Twitch. You can set your preferred pronoun on the site and see other people set pronouns on Twitch chat. So it would be something that you would need to have, like basically you have the extension active, they have the extension active, much like Better Twitch TV.
Yeah.
Like where if somebody types a Better Twitch TV emote in there and you don't have that active on your browser, you just see the text that corresponds with it. This would be something that sits next to your like bit badge or your sub badge, and it basically just allows you to demonstrate your pronouns. It's pretty cool. You can get to it through https://pronouns.alejo, that's ALEJO, and then .io. If you just look for Twitch pronoun extension, I'm sure it'll come up.
We can link it in the description or on YouTube. Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for the share, Bull.
Yeah, I keep meaning to get that installed. Actually, I need to get on that. Grog, what?
Hi.
Oh,
Wow.
What?
I think Condi was struggling to ask, who am I and what am I doing this week?
That's it. Yes.
My name is Grogmode. You can find me on twitch.tv/Grogmode. You can find me on other platforms, Twitter, YouTube, and the like, at gamer_Grog. Thank you again, everyone, for sitting through this stream. I think this is one of our better Twitch streams. We had a lot of information to cover. I'm looking forward to seeing how this I feel like this one might do the numbers later on Spotify and YouTube and stuff like that. But for me, I stream 5 days a week, Monday through Thursday. It's just me. I'm going to be doing some more Apex, some more No Man's Sky, some more Resident Evil 7 DLC, and maybe start into Resident Evil 8. Lauren and I are going to be doing we're going to do Little Nightmares 2 this weekend. So lots of good stuff coming up, lots of good games, and in the pipeline in the near future, we're going to be doing Subnautica. I might, fingers crossed, everybody, like when in Peter Pan, when Tinkerbell is like sick and like everyone's supposed to clap their hands to like, get Tinkerbell better. I want everybody after stream to just give a little clap and pray that Lauren does a Beast Inside stream. She claimed that because my frail old man body couldn't do a 24-hour stream for No Man's Sky, I proved her wrong. That she would do a horror stream. And we talked about maybe her doing it midweek, maybe her doing it on Saturday, but that she would be the person playing. Beast Inside is a first-person horror game that looks scary as fuck. So the plan was I would be there in the back seat, just to kind of like lurk and maybe freak her out, and then while she plays. So fingers crossed we can make that happen. But yeah, it's gonna be a good week.
I'll be there with you.
Eve, where can everyone find you, and what have you got coming up this week?
You can find me at Metabot Eve everywhere now. And like I've been saying since October, I'm working on a Hamtaro video, just really, 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 really slowly.
I'm looking forward to it. Your Hamtaro shit is very fun to watch.
It's a fun game, and I feel like there's a lot of really good stuff there. I'm just lazy. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14, doing that on Mondays and Wednesdays. On Fridays, I was playing Danganronpa, but we finished that, and that was a massive mind fuck, and I need a break from that for a minute. So I'll play something else on there. And then Saturday, I'm doing Resident Evil 8 again.
Hell yeah.
You can hear me yell at Ethan.
Can I say,
Ethan for being a dumbass.
if you haven't followed Eve on TikTok or Twitter, she did this video, which I'm hoping is going to be like a full series of like, if this horror game was real life, where I would quit. That was so fucking funny. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's like a 30-second clip, but I need you to make more of those because that really made me laugh. Go and give it a watch because that one really got me and I want to see more. Humps, where can everyone find you?
You can find me, Sir Humps, pretty much everywhere. Add an underscore if you fancy Twitter. I stream 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll be doing some Destiny, I'm sure. Apex ranked probably tomorrow or sometime, or I don't fucking know. Well, Destiny raid, I don't know, whatever we're gonna do. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know the deal is. We will be by we I mean Madam Humps and I will be doing a co-stream maybe this weekend. We've been planning on doing a co-stream for a while. Maybe some Mario Party or a Switch game of some sort. Mario Kart, something we both like and enjoy. But yeah, that'll be that's the game plan for this week.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hopefully I won't break any more legs on cornholes.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Condi Fly, what about you?
Thank you. Yeah, I've got a lot coming up this week because I'm off work, so I have free time finally to do some stuff. So I have a bunch of videos I'm working on, which should hopefully be out. Eve, we need to have our Pokemon battle.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get that set up this week. Because I put the first part of our video up, the Drunken Wrestlers one, which I just had so much fun editing. Like, it just really... I edited in a Dragon Ball Z clip, and I don't know. I was sitting at my desk just laughing my ass off. Like, it's really not that funny, but I thought it was great.
Can we remind chat what's on the line? What's at stake?
So... yeah, so we had
the outcome of this Pokemon battle.
We had I had our head-to-head, similar to how I did with Grog. Eve won the first round, which was Drunken Wrestlers. I won the second round, which was a Wikipedia race. So we're currently tied up. Eve had technical difficulties. Her Switch wasn't working, so we couldn't do the Pokemon battle.
I even ended my stream so I could restart my computer, and it still didn't work.
Even ended stream, yeah. She went to a great length to not have to battle me there and then.
Don't worry, Eve. Condi was probably relieved because it gives him more time to train up another Pokemon.
It's like when tennis players go like, oh, it's raining. Oh, we're going to have to postpone the match for another day. That's what it was like. So we're going to reschedule that. If I win, Eve has to tweet that I'm 5'9".
Why is that always why is that you?
Because
really,
that's all I
Christ.
want in life is for people to believe me.
No one's going to.
And
even
if I
they tweet that,
if I lose, I have to tweet that Oasis is the best band and pin it to my profile for a week.
Speaking of, now that I have your address, I'm sending you this CD that I found in my collection.
I will destroy it.
Can't stop it. I don't care. This Oasis, what's the story, Morning Glory? It's coming to you.
I had to
99 cents. I'm sending it to you. It's probably going to be like $8 or $9 in shipping.
I'm not going to open it.
There.
I won't open it.
I'm gonna open it on stream and destroy it on stream.
So as part of the forfeit stream as well, Dale put one of the fucking forfeits that I had to film a TikTok of me singing an Oasis song and post it. So I couldn't work out how to actually do it. Every time I tried to sing along to the music, it muted my mic. So the video was just me lip syncing. I was like, that's not going to work. So then I had to just sing it from memory and then overlap the vocals. So it's all like out of time and shit.
Hey, you got all the lyrics right, which
well, because I did it like 20 times trying to get it to fucking work.
Something about you.
So anyway, yeah. The Pokemon battle will need to happen at some point this week. But yeah, other than that, I'll be on Apex. I think Humps and I were going to try and finish that raid tomorrow. And maybe some Apex ranked if you're down. And yeah, lots of videos going to the YouTube. It's going to be a good week. More importantly, though.
How's it feel, Grog? How's it feel, Grog? Suck it, nerd.
More importantly, check out the podcast. If you have been watching this on Twitch and you think you maybe learned something by some miracle, we have a bunch of other episodes. Like this is like episode 56 or 57 now. Stop waving at me threateningly, Eve. Okay, stop it. we have all our previous episodes on Spotify and on YouTube. You can check them out there. And if you're listening on any of the other platforms, we do this live on Twitch every Sunday, twitch.tv/ZeroStrategyPodcast. And you can come by and ask us questions directly. If there's anything you're not sure about with Twitch or YouTube or any of that content creation stuff, you can come and ask these four strategists. I like that. Somebody said that earlier, and I like that now. We're the zero strategists.
Not a strategist.
Definitely better than the zeros.
It's definitely better than the
I
zeros.
want to be
yeah.
a zero.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time. We are going to go and raid someone, so please do stick around to pass the love along. We will see you next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.